Welcome to another edition of our Fearless Football Forecast. As you can tell, I'm Ronnie Woodward. This is Jim Gentry. No Tony Castleberry this week. He got out of it this week. But, Jim, I checked back. I looked at last week's tape. We all picked the same team from last week. We were all right. So we don't even need Tony. We're undefeated so far, so let's move on with it.
I've been telling you for years we didn't need Tony.
Yeah. He brings a lot to the show, but, we're perfect so far in our picks, so no worries anyway. All right, we got a huge Pitt County week this week, basically. A lot of good games, exciting games. So start us off, Jim. J.H. Rose travels to South Central.
Yeah, it's looking at a Rose team that's kind of struggling now out of the gate. Haven't had an easy start, having to play Havelock and Conley, facing another Coastal 3A team here. At South Central, and you got a South Central team who struggled out of the gate, but came back and got a big win over against Farmville Central last week. So, it's kind of an interesting give and take there. It's kind of hard to match up what these two teams have done so far this year because the level of competition has been very different. Yeah, you're talking about a Havelock team that won a state championship last year, a Conley team that's up and coming. Yep. So this may be Rose's best chance at a win so far this season.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really telling game for both of these teams. Who are you going to pick in that one?
I think it's going to be close, but I think Rose will get that first win. I think they're battle tested at this point, and I don't know if South Central is. Yeah. I think it'll be a close game, but I give Rose the edge just because they have played two pretty good offenses in the last 2 weeks.
Definitely, I'm gonna agree completely on that. I think the Rampants. I think this game will be slower for them. Yeah. I mean, Havelock was so fast. Conley is really scoring, at an all-time high. I think things slow down for Rose a little bit. I think it's a close game either way. Rose, as you said, a little more battle-tested, pulls out a win, maybe a late score or a field goal or something. The next game here, another kind of rivalry game. We have Aiden Griffin going to North Pitt. Two teams are off to hot starts. I mean, Aiden Griffin's 2-0, coming off a huge year last year. North Pitt loses. Their one loss is a 1-point loss to a 3A team in Washington. So these are teams, and kind of Tony always says this, but we're looking at a lot of rushing yards. I mean, Aiden Griffin runs the ball. North Pitt has some explosive running backs. I think that's what we're looking at with this game. I think it's an exciting game. This is maybe my favorite game of the week personally. As far as even game, but who are you going to pick in that one, Jim?
It's a series of streaks. Aiden Griffin won 3 in a row, and North Pitt's won the last 2. If we were talking before the camera went on, that this is probably the toughest game to pick this week, and I'm still going back and forth on it. North Pitt's at home. I'm going to go with North Pitt, I think. Okay. Them being at home, I think that'll give them a little bit of an edge. It's hard to pick against the Aiden Griffin team that can put up 400 yards rushing in a game. I'm going to give North Pitt the home field advantage. Say that's going to be enough to push them over to a slim win. Okay. Man, I'm kind of with you. I was thinking North Pitt as well, but just to kind of have something different, I'm going to go with Aiden Griffin. Okay.
Like you said, the series, North Pitt's won the last 2, so maybe Aiden Griffin has a little more motivation, and they'd won the last 3 before that, so it's kind of been a back-and-forth thing. It's tough to – my theory for this year with Aiden Griffin is I'm not going to pick against them until they lose because they're hot right now from dating back from last year, so I'll go with the Chargers on that one. Last game here, Farmville Central is still struggling, goes to a really hot D.H. Conley team.
Yeah, 2 exact opposites we're dealing with here. And not a good matchup for Farmville Central. They're struggling defensively so far, and now they're going to face the best offense they've probably seen this year. We were talking earlier about how Conley's averaging over 40 points a game. Farmville hasn't been able to stop anybody. Not a good matchup. You got Walker Cummings, who's just been a machine right now for that Conley team, running the ball and also plays safety for him, does a little bit of everything. Probably in the running there for Offensive Player of the Year so far. It'd be kind of tough to pick against him, especially as well as Conley's been playing. But Farmville's going to have a hard time stopping that losing streak this week with that high-powered offense coming in. They're going to Conley, but having to face that high-powered offense is just going to be just a tall task.
Definitely. All right, who are you going to pick in that one?
I'm going to pick Conley in that one. I hate to say it's an easy pick, but you just look at 2 teams, 2 programs kind of that are in different situations right now. It's just a tough task to ask Farmville to snap that losing streak against a team like Conley.
Yeah, I kind of touched on it last week. Farmville they have some tough games out of the gate. You know, South Central, you follow it up with Conley. I mean, these are big 3A schools. They're going to be 4A next year. I just think Farmville's overmatched. The Vikings have too much firepower. They get a win there at home. So should be an exciting night on Friday night. All Pitt County teams. Make sure you check reflector.com. Get the paper on Saturday, and we'll check back with you next week.